Hey, all Kate here from the Emerald Minecart. Welcome back to another review, and today I'm reviewing episode 19 of Kamen Zeztz. Now, a decent amount of stuff happened in this episode, and I have a decent amount of things to say about this episode. So, yeah. Also, I want to make a little correction in my previous review. So, I talked about how, in the previous episode it's like, oh, it's Nasuka and Baku who knew each other back then, but no, it was actually Nasuka's friend. Uh, yeah, Nasuka's friend Kira. Yeah, I got their names mixed up, so I'm sorry. So yeah, it's not. Sadly, it's not Nasuka who becomes a writer. It's her friend Kira who becomes a writer. So I just wanted to make that clarification because yeah, I got their names mixed up and I'm sorry. So yeah. So anyways, yeah, let's get back to the main review. So yeah. The pros, the cons, and the mids. First off, the pros. So first things first are the fight scenes. Once again, the fight scenes are honestly pretty good, especially between Kamen Zeztz and the Death Game Nightmare. So yeah, I really like the fight scenes, pretty good. Next up are the special effects. Once again, special effects are also pretty good. I found like the special effect for this is in a scene where like the Death Game Nightmare uses his alternate or like reality altering powers to like trap Zeztz in a room, and like from the outside it's like the room blows up and it's like, oh, Zeztz is dead, but obviously Zeztz is not dead. But when the room does blow up, like the walls have like bulged and pushed outwards, which obviously wouldn't happen in real life, but because this is a dream, it happens. Honestly, I just found that effect funny, and also the special effect for Zetz's finisher, honestly, really good. I quite liked it. Next up is the music. The music in during the fight scene and the music in general in this episode, honestly, it was really good. Quite liked it. Sounded nice. Then next up, speaking of the Death Game Nightmare, we actually find out that his tire wheel mask thing, he can actually take that off. And honestly, when I first saw it, it was honestly slightly unsettled by it. Obviously, looking back at it again, I'm not really unsettled. But honestly, he looks really cool without the mask on. And like, it's shown that like he does have a nose hole where like the mask thing plugs in. And he also has like a second mouth on the top of his head, which honestly really cool detail, and it was covered up by the wheel mask thing that he was wearing. But yeah, honestly, I kind of like Death Game Nightmare's design without the mask. Looks really cool. But I will say both designs are decently pretty cool, if that sentence makes sense. Anyways, speaking of nightmares, we get a full look at the baby nightmare. Now, I've mentioned before that I am not really that much of a big fan of the baby nightmare because it just kind of generally unsettles me a bit. So we get to see a full body version of it, and also spoilers. It will be the nightmare of the next episode. So for some reason, the baby nightmare has tight black leather pants. Why does the baby nightmare have tight black leather pants? Good question. I don't know. Ask the people who designed the creature. But yeah, it's just, I found it really odd how this monster that unsettled me has tight black leather pants. I don't know if I should be scared or turned on. But considering it has the word baby in the name, I don't think I should be turned on. Also, the design still unsettles me a bit, especially with its really fugly face. But yeah. Anyways, next up, this is a scene that shocked me, and Nim attempts to kill herself. Yes, really. Nim, one of our supporting characters, attempts suicide. So, okay, so to explain it, there is a scene where, like, Nim, is teleported to, like, the garden that is outside of this house that the lady and Nox live in, and like she starts to realize that, oh no, I'm part of the problem. And like when she meets up with Zeztz again, she explains all this, and she's like, I need to end this. And she pulls out a knife and attempts to walk off screen, which it's not directly told to us, but it's basically hinted that like, yeah, Nim was about to kill herself. Which thankfully Baku, aka Kamen Zeztz, is able to stop her and give her a pep talk that gives her hope again. But that scene legitimately surprised me. And look, I know we've had like tokusatsu like shows like Kamen and like Super Sentai that also have like really dark moments. Like hell, Jetman, like the Super Sentai season, Jetman. It ended with one of the Rangers getting shanked and dying. So I should be surprised by the darkness, but like it just genuinely surprised me because like okay, look, I know customs in Japan are a lot different than customs in America, but it just again like Kamen is considered a kids show and they're allowed to show someone about to try and commit suicide. I don't know, and again, I'm still somewhat new to tokusatsu shows like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, so obviously if there are some more darker moments that I don't know of, I am sorry. I'm still kind of a newbie to stuff like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, despite the fact I've been watching it for a very good while. But yeah, that scene legitimately surprised me. So, yeah. Anyways, next up, we find out that the erase capsule can erase memories. So this is explained in a scene where Kira. Wait, am I saying the name right? Kira. Yeah, Kira. Where Kira and Zeztz meet up in the real world, and like she knows that I know why you're here, and like the two talk about like how it's like the cram school that we went to, which I will get to that after I talk about the erase capsum. But we find out the reason why Kira originally forgot about all this stuff is because something happened where like her identity was exposed or something, and she had her memories erased by the erase capsule, which I guess, yeah, obviously makes sense that the erase capsule can erase memories, but it kind of surprised me a bit, which I don't know why, because again, it's called the erase capsule, so you'd think it could have some form of mental effects on someone. But yeah. And speaking of the cram school that I brought up, yeah, we discovered that the cram school that Baku and Kira went to was basically an agent training school for code. They were essentially training the two into like being able to like get into people's dreams and stuff like that, which just leads to Baku having like a bit of a crisis, like, oh, is my love for agents and stuff actually something I wanted to do? And it's like, will this be something that will affect him later on? Who knows? So, yeah. Anyways, next up, so Baku just pulls out a new weapon combination where he combines the blade part of his sword with his new Inazuma blaster and forms the Inazuma Blaster Great Sword mode. Now, I believe this is the first time we've seen this, and again, he just pulls this out of nowhere, which, look, I know sometimes it can be annoying when someone pulls, like, a new powerful thing out of their ass, but honestly, I quite okay, look, I know the Inazuma Blaster Greatsword mode is just, the blade part of, like, his sword attached to the Inazuma Blaster, but honestly, looked cool, and the finisher also looked pretty cool. So yeah, the Inazuma Blaster Greatsword mode, try saying that 5 times fast, honestly, really good. I like it. And then finally, we have the Lord Invoker driver. Now, I actually saw this driver a while ago in like a magazine that was like in magazine pictures that were posted online. Which, if you're American who has recently gone to like Super Sentai or Kamen Rider or Tokusatsu in general, avoid. All I'm going to say is try to avoid Twitter and other social medias for spoilers, because trust me, you will get spoiled. But yeah. First of all, I just want to say the name Lord Invoker just sounds so freaking cool. And also, I really do like the design, like wine red or maroon red mixed with gold is just chef kiss of a color combination. I love it. And obviously we get to see a look of her Kamen Rider form in the teaser for the next episode, but I won't talk about that until I do my review of the 20th episode. So yeah. But yeah, Lord Invoker, cool name, cool design, chef kiss of a color palette. I love it. But yeah, those were my pros. Now for my cons and mids. Surprise, I don't have no cons and mids. So yeah, this was once again another really good episode. It had a scene that genuinely surprised me. There were some moments in the episode that's like, ooh, the tension, the stakes are sizzling, and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, I give this episode 7 out of 7 stars. So yeah, that was it for my review. Make sure you all subscribe and like for more, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye!